strange creatures, eerie sightings, and baffling mysteries. This video has it all. These once hidden life forms are finally revealing themselves. And what you're about to see will leave you stunned. Let's get started.
We gotta get these specimens collected and onto the truck before we run out of light.
This one is straight out of a nightmare. Behind a glass box at a museum, people were staring at what looked like a real-life scary giant worm. It's long, slimy, and honestly looks like something that should only exist in movies like Skull Island. Some say it's modeled after the Carnictus, a worm-like predator said to live in the deepest parts of Skull Island, growing up to 13 feet long. Luckily, this one wasn't roaming free. It stayed safely behind glass while people snapped pictures. Was it a real creature from the wild, or just a super creepy prop? Tiny dragon. In this clip, a man carefully opens a glass box, and inside is what looks like a freshly hatched baby dragon. Next to it, there's even an egg that seems ready to crack open too. The little creature has that classic dragon look, tiny wings, sharp features, and feels strangely real. People watching couldn't decide if they were seeing an actual mythical creature or just a really well-made prop. Maybe it's a clever piece of art, or a movie model, or maybe someone actually stumbled upon something we're not supposed to see yet. White monkey mystery. A couple of years back, a strange video spread online showing a creature no one could quite figure out. At first glance, it looked like a giant white mouse, but its face gave off monkey-like features. Some people even suggested it might be the result of an experiment gone wrong. Later, it was revealed to be a silvery marmoset, a monkey species from the Amazon rainforest. This one looked unusual because of hair loss, or maybe a skin condition, which made it appear even stranger. With its pale fur, orangish face, and those huge ears, it definitely left viewers unsettled before the truth came out. Unusual puppy. A man was out walking when he came across a restless little dog and decided to check on it. The pup looked a bit different, so he recorded it, and the video quickly went viral. Later, professionals explained that it was actually a Chow Chow puppy born with a small defect in his nose. Once groomed, the dog looked really adorable, and thankfully, someone adopted him soon after. What started as a curious street encounter turned into a happy ending for this unique little pup. Giant roof crawler. So, this guy was just messing around with his new camera, testing out how far the zoom could go. At first, he was focusing on an unfinished building nearby, but then he noticed something strange moving on the roof. When he zoomed in, he couldn't believe what he saw. A spider-like creature, but way bigger than any normal spider. It had this sandy-colored body, a massive head, and long legs that moved slowly across the roof. The craziest part is, it didn't even look like a regular animal, more like some cryptid people talk about online. That one zoom test turned into something unforgettable. Village mystery. While exploring an abandoned village, a researcher spotted a creature that didn't quite match anything he knew. At first glance, it almost looked like an oversized honey badger, but its movements and features made it seem different. He recorded the animal wandering near one of the crumbling houses, and the footage later spread online. People debated what it could be, but whatever it was, the encounter added another strange story to the long list of unusual finds in forgotten places. Chernobyl mutant. While exploring the restricted zone of Chernobyl, a scientist claimed to have filmed something straight out of a nightmare. He spotted this strange creature moving slowly across the ground, its body covered in blob-like air sacs. almost like swollen bubbles. It dragged itself along with small tentacle-like arms, looking more like a mutated slug than anything else. The scientist quickly pulled out his phone and recorded the strange movement. Because of the strict rules in the zone, he couldn't bring the creature out with him. The footage left people debating if this was a real mutation or just an unusual animal never seen before. Two-headed cow. In India, a strange cow was brought into the city from a small village where unusual animal mutations were said to happen often. A Hindu priest called it a sacred gift, and crowds quickly gathered to see it. The cow had what looked like two heads fused together, sharing a single set of eyes and a mouth that connected in the middle. People were amazed, some bowing in respect, while others stared in shock. Whether it was truly something divine, a rare natural mutation, or perhaps the result of hidden experiments, no one could say for sure. Prehistoric lizard sighting. A wildlife cameraman was out in the field hoping to capture some regular footage of animals. Out of nowhere, a massive lizard-like creature showed up, stretching close to 6 feet long. Its body was covered in thick scales. Its tail was strong and heavy, and the whole thing looked like it had stepped straight out of prehistoric times. The cameraman kept rolling, completely stunned by what he was seeing. It didn't act like a normal lizard either. What do you think was that? Tell me in the comments below. Cliffside creature. Some hikers were out at night when they noticed movement on a nearby cliff. At first, they thought it was just a shadow, but then their camera caught something shocking. A humanoid figure was sitting there, with small wings on its back and features that looked almost dragon-like. The way it perched, staring down, gave the whole scene a very unsettling vibe. The group didn't stay around for long after that. Well, who would? Strange caterpillar. So this video shows a really weird creature crawling out of the ground. And honestly, it looks just like Caterpie from Pokemon. It's brown, has those big eyes, and even that little red antenna coming out of its mouth. People standing around were shocked, because it didn't look like any normal bug you'd expect to see in real life. Some thought it might just be a giant caterpillar species we don't usually come across, while others believed it was something way stranger. Could this be a rare insect that scientists haven't identified yet, or just a staged look-alike made to creep people out? You decide. Highway wolf. A family was driving late at night, moving from one city to another, when something strange forced them to stop. Right in the middle of the road stood a figure that looked like a mix between a human and a wolf. Its tall frame, glowing eyes, and frozen stare gave everyone chills. For a few moments, no one knew if it was real or just their imagination. Whatever it was, the family didn't stick around for long. Furry surprise. At first glance, people were convinced this creature found in the forest was something completely unknown. With its thick coat of fur and unusual look, it left many scratching their heads. But experts quickly solved the mystery. It wasn't an undiscovered cryptid at all. It was a Mittermeier's Tapajos saki, a type of saki monkey. These monkeys are found in west-central Brazil and are known for their impressive long fur, which gives them such a striking appearance. While the internet had its fun speculating about it, the truth turned out to be a lot simpler, yet still fascinating. Fish-frog hybrid. Somewhere in Russia, a man stepped outside his home and instantly froze at what he saw. Right in front of his house, sitting on a tree branch, was a creature that didn't look like it belonged there at all. It had the body and legs of a frog, long arms hanging down, but its head looked more like a fish, with big, bulging eyes and a strange mouth. The man pulled out his phone and filmed it, not really believing what he was seeing. Once the video went online, people from everywhere started debating what this strange creature could actually be. And honestly, no one has guessed yet. Griffin sighting. While filming a project about the biggest animals on Earth, this guy stumbled across something totally unexpected. A man keeping a strange pet hidden away. It looked like a massive griffin straight out of mythology. You know, the half-lion, half-eagle creature that's usually only seen in legends and old artwork. The size, the wings, the whole appearance. It really did look like one. Of course, some people think it might just be a very good special effect or an edited clip. Still, the idea of seeing a real griffin in modern times feels almost unbelievable. The Vesper Coon. This strange cryptid is said to live deep in the forests of Eastern Europe, and locals call it the Vesper Coon. Described as part bat and part raccoon, it supposedly stands on two legs and has massive wings that let it glide silently through the trees. Villagers claim its glowing red eyes can be seen in the dark, and its screech is so chilling it can freeze anyone in place. Many stories say it comes from an old curse tied to forgotten rituals, and for generations, people have avoided those woods at night. Whether it's real or just a legend, the Vesper Coon has become a lasting part of local folklore. Strange creature sighting. A rare video from Argentina showed a strange-looking animal that left everyone confused. It didn't seem to match any known species, which quickly got people talking online. Some locals believed it was the aguara guazu, also called the big fox in Guarani, while others thought it looked much closer to the legendary chupacabra. The footage was short and grainy, so there wasn't much detail to study. Still, the way the creature moved and its odd body shape made it stand out. With no other sightings to back it up, we're left wondering if it was a real cryptid, or just a case of mistaken identity. Giant lobster. Now here's something most of you probably know well, but not in this size. This video surfaced a few months ago, showing a massive lobster crawling just beneath the surface of the water, and it honestly looked unreal. Its glowing red eyes and huge body made it seem more like a monster than a sea creature. Normally, lobsters are pretty small, the kind you'd expect on a dinner plate, but they can actually grow really big, up to 2 feet long and over 14 pounds. The claws alone can look terrifying when they're oversized. Whether this one was a true giant or just edited, the sight definitely had people unsettled. Forest encounter. A group of friends went camping in a dark forest, just trying to enjoy the night, when things took a very strange turn. They heard rustling nearby and thought it might just be an animal, but when they pointed their flashlights toward the sound, they saw something completely unexpected. 2 pale, alien-like figures with long ears and odd facial features. The beings had white cloths wrapped around them and moved in a way that didn't seem normal. For a moment, it looked like they wanted help, but suddenly they bolted into the darkness. The friends, shaken by the sight, packed up and never returned. Creepy streetwalker. Late at night, 2 sisters were out walking when they noticed something strange coming toward them on the street. At first, it seemed like a person, but then they realized it was moving on all 4s in a way that didn't look normal at all. The head shape and the way it shifted its body made it even more unsettling. You can see in the video how the sisters panic, and honestly, I don't blame them. Most people would have run the same way. To this day, no one really knows what that figure actually was. Snake-human hybrid. A strange video from a forest shows what looks like a half-man, half-snake creature moving slowly on the forest floor. Its body seemed human from the top, but turned into a serpent's tail below, making it look straight out of a legend. Different cultures have stories about beings like this, like the Naga from Hindu mythology or serpent guardians in other folklore. Some see them as protectors, while others view them as alarming. Seeing something like that outside of old stories is enough to make anyone uneasy. Whether it was real or staged, the sight definitely left people shaken. Snake bird trick. While trekking through the mountains of Utah, a hiker came across a strange creature twisting around on the ground. At first glance, it seemed like it had the head of a snake, but the body of a bird. Turns out, this wasn't some unknown species, but a Eurasian wryneck, a bird famous for its unusual defense trick. When it feels alarmed, it bends and twists its head in snake-like motions to scare off predators. Long ago, people even linked it to witchcraft and believed it had magical powers. Funny enough, it's part of the woodpecker family, though it doesn't actually peck wood at all. Heavenly creatures. This odd little video shows a group of pure white creatures running around a farm. And honestly, they look like something from another world, with long, floppy ears, tiny or almost hidden faces, and fluffy little bodies. They seem way too perfect to be real animals. Some people say it's just clever editing or costumes, while others think it could be a rare species we haven't seen before. Whatever the case, these creatures don't look scary at all. Asylum creature. A group of teenagers decided to explore an abandoned asylum in Canada, recording their adventure along the way. At first, everything seemed like a typical spooky exploration, but then they heard loud cries echoing from the top floor. When they reached the hallway, a strange figure appeared, crawling on all fours with long, messy hair. The moment it started moving toward them, panic set in. The teens bolted down the stairs, and the video cuts off suddenly, leaving everyone wondering what really happened next. Well, let's hope they got out of there safely. Strange bird. A hiker recently caught something odd on camera. A furry-looking creature with a beak like a woodpecker, strange wings, and a really unusual body shape. At first, people online were convinced it was some kind of interdimensional being, or even a brand new cryptid. But then someone pointed out the truth. It's actually an American bittern. Normally, this bird doesn't look all that unusual, but when it stretches its neck or body, it takes on a super weird, almost alien appearance. So yeah, not a mystery creature after all, just a bird with some surprising moves. Shoreline mystery. A fisherman was out for a regular day by the shore when he came across something that left him completely puzzled. Lying there was a strange, creepy-looking creature with a huge head, dark body, and odd, sharp teeth. He tried to figure out what it was, but couldn't match it with anything he knew. So, he decided to call in the experts. The creature was taken away for study, but its bizarre features made it look almost like an experiment gone wrong. Whatever it was, it definitely didn't resemble any normal sea animal we've seen before. Bizarre lion. The video starts off shaky, making it hard to tell what's happening. But as the camera steadies, you can clearly see a strange lion-like creature. It stomps around and even tries climbing up a grassy embankment before running back and forth, almost like it's restless or confused. Its face and movements don't look like a normal lion, giving it an eerie, almost demonic vibe. The people recording just kept watching in shock, unsure what exactly they were looking at, or where this thing even came from. Chupacabra remains.
Посмотри, у меня фотоаппарата нету, слышите, а?
Here we have a shaky, low-quality video that shows what looks like the body of some strange animal. Its most noticeable feature are rows of thin, needle-like teeth that almost look designed to pierce and drain. That instantly made people think of the infamous chupacabra, the creature often linked to livestock vanishing and drained animals. But with no context, no location, no backstory, it's hard to know what's really going on here. Could this be the remains of a real cryptid? Maybe even a bioengineered experiment? Tell me in the comments below. Backyard discovery. A man was checking around his backyard when he noticed something strange moving in the grass. Out of curiosity, he picked it up and brought it inside for a closer look. To his surprise, it wasn't just any ordinary bug. It was a slimy, snake-like creature with what looked like hundreds of tiny legs. The sight was so unusual that even scientists were taken aback when they saw the video. Some thought it could be a rare species, while others believed it was simply a mutation. Either way, it turned into one of the strangest backyard finds caught on camera. Swamp Mystery. While filming a swamp for his documentary, this guy noticed something unusual moving in the water. At first, it looked like the head of an alligator, but the shape wasn't quite right. The creature slowly rose up near the edge and grabbed one of the stranded fish before slipping back into the water. Its head looked bigger and stranger than any regular reptile, almost like a mix between a giant snake and something unknown. The moment was unsettling, and he managed to capture it all on camera. Whatever it was, it left viewers wondering what kinds of creatures really live in those murky waters. Creepy bug mix. One family had the surprise of their lives when they spotted a strange insect crawling around their living room. At first, it looked like a giant praying mantis, but then they noticed it also had long, spider-like legs, and even a tail that looked like a scorpion's. The unusual mix made the whole thing look like some kind of creature out of a science fiction movie. People started calling it one of the creepiest insect hybrids they had ever seen. What's your take on this one? Stick insect surprise. Australia never fails to surprise with its wildlife, and here's another example. This video shows a massive stick insect that looks almost identical to a twig, so much so that you'd probably walk right past it without even noticing. These insects, like the Titan stick insect, are experts at camouflage, blending perfectly into branches and leaves to avoid predators. But when they feel threatened, they put on a startled display, suddenly spreading out their legs or wings to look much scarier than they really are. It's wild how something that looks so fragile can have such a smart defense. Rabbit ear barnacle. On one fishing trip, a crew pulled up something that left people scratching their heads. Hanging off the trawler were these strange, floppy-looking creatures with ear-like shapes sticking out. At first glance, they looked like something straight out of a science fiction movie, and many online even called them aliens. But in reality, these were Conchoderma auritum, better known as rabbit ear barnacles. They attach themselves to ships, whales, or anything they can find in the ocean. Up close, they look pretty unsettling, almost alive in a way that makes your skin crawl. Still, they're just another bizarre part of ocean life. Spider leg catch. A fisherman in China once pulled up something truly bizarre in his net. Instead of a regular fish, out came this strange creature with long, spider-like legs or tentacles dangling around. At first glance, it almost looked like a mix between a crab and some deep-sea alien. People who saw the video couldn't believe it was real, with many calling it one of the weirdest sea creatures ever caught. Some say it could just be a rare type of crab or deep-sea creature we don't often see, while others believe it was something completely unknown. Whatever it was, it left everyone unsettled. Cave salamander. Inside a dark cave, someone recorded a creature that immediately sparked wild guesses online. Some said it looked like a snake, while others thought it was a baby dragon. But experts later confirmed that it was actually an OLM, also known as the Proteus. This rare salamander lives only in caves, spending its whole life underwater. What makes it special is its pale, almost human-like skin and tiny, undeveloped eyes, which help it survive in complete darkness. Locals sometimes call it the human fish, or white salamander, and seeing one up close is incredibly rare. Furry caterpillar. A strange little creature was spotted crawling on the outside of a house window. At first glance, it moved just like a caterpillar, but what made it stand out was its thick brown fur and even a tiny furry tail at the end. It definitely didn't look like the usual caterpillars we see in gardens. The video quickly spread online, with people curious to know what exactly this fuzzy crawler might be. Night street creature. Years ago, a viral video had everyone freaking out. It showed what looked like a giant mutant spider crawling through city streets at night, even chasing a few unlucky people away. The sight was so convincing that many believed some terrifying new species had been discovered. But when the truth finally came out, it was actually hilarious. That so-called monster was just a small dog wearing a spider costume, running around, pulling off one of the most creative pranks ever. What started as pure fear quickly turned into laughter once people realized they'd been tricked by a spider dog. Creepy creation. This clip had a lot of people freaking out, thinking some massive roach-like creature was crawling around in New York City. The video spread fast online, and honestly, who wouldn't be terrified seeing something like that in their house? But the truth is a lot less scary. It was an animatronic built for the movie Pacific Rim. The creature, called a kaiju skin parasite, was designed for a scene and looked so real that people thought it actually existed. It's pretty wild how good movie props can be at fooling the internet when taken out of context. Underground mystery. Some cavers exploring deep underground tunnels stumbled upon something that gave them chills. Hidden in the shadows, a strange creature appeared, with large, glowing eyes that reflected the light back at them. Its body wasn't clear in the darkness, but the shape looked nothing like any normal animal you'd expect to find beneath the earth. The video quickly spread online, leaving people debating whether it was a new species adapted to life underground, some ancient creature never before seen, or maybe something even stranger. Whatever it was, the eerie look of it left both the explorers and viewers unsettled. Dogman sightings. Late one night, a group of people driving along a forest road came across something they'll never forget. Standing right in the middle of the road was a black, wolf-like creature, but its features didn't quite match a normal animal. What really got them was its eerie, direct stare, almost like it was sizing them up. Many say this could be the Dogman, a creature long rumored in Michigan and Wisconsin. Described as tall, wolf-headed, and able to walk on two legs, the Dogman has been linked to countless strange encounters, and this sighting only adds to the legend. Giant Aussie spider. Australia never fails to surprise when it comes to its wildlife, and this video is proof. Inside a house, a spider the size of a dinner plate was calmly making its way across the wall, almost like it owned the place. Locals say huntsman spiders are common there, but when you see one up close with that kind of size upgrade, it's hard not to freeze. These spiders usually keep to themselves and even help control pests, but their sheer size is enough to leave anyone stunned. Just another reminder that in Australia, big really means huge. Sink creature. A woman was resting in her room when a loud screech from the kitchen startled her. Curious and a bit uneasy, she went to check and found something unbelievable sitting on her sink. It looked like a strange little creature with a large body, thin legs, and a mouth that opened wider than anything she'd ever seen. No one could figure out how it even got inside the house, or if such a thing had ever been spotted before. Open discussion. This video shows an American pit bull terrier that looks like something out of a storybook. The pup was born with 2 fully formed heads, both moving on their own, but sharing the same body. In the clip, you can see it eating kibble in a pen while other animals hang around, not even bothered by its unusual look. Its eyes blink together, but each head seems to have its own little personality. Cases like this are extremely rare. And while it may look strange, it's also fascinating to see how nature sometimes works in the most unexpected ways.